Soldiers. Today let us take up a question. What are the factors which governs the form, content and extent of audit documentation? First of all, we have to see the size and complexity of the entity. Bigger the organization, larger the organization, high complex the organization, the quantum of audit documentation will go up because their operations will be very big, nature of business will be having lot of areas to be covered, and that is why first factor is the size and complexity of the entity. So in simple terms, bigger the organization, more the documentation. Then nature of audit procedures to be performed, because we have to perform the audit procedures. So what type of audit procedure will you perform? Is it a risk assessment procedure, further audit procedures? Under further audit procedure you have the test of control, substantive procedures. Under that you have test of details and substantive analytical procedures. So what is the nature of audit procedures that will be performed in this regard? That also determines the form, content and extent of audit documentation. And then the identified risk of material misstatement. Higher the risk, more the quantum of documentation, because the audit documentation contains the audit procedures, audit evidence and the audit conclusion. And further, the significance of the audit evidence obtained. Is it a very important audit evidence you have obtained? And the nature and extent of exceptions identified. What is the nature and extent of exception identified? So take example, the controls are not functioning properly. There are deviations in the control. So what is the nature and extent of exception identified? And also you have to see the audit methodology and tools used. What is the audit methodology and tools used here? That also will be very much important. That's the thing here. And also ultimately we have to document the conclusion. So the conclusion is derived based on the evidence and by applying the audit procedures. So the auditor designs and performs audit procedures to obtain SAI, to draw the conclusion. So the form, content and extent of audit documentation finally depends upon the size and complexity of the entity, the nature of audit procedures to be performed, the risk of material misstatement, audit evidence, nature and extent of exception, audit methodology and tools used, and to document the conclusion which is based on the audit evidence obtained. Thank you very much, soldiers. I'll see you in the next video.